there is only one single thing that has the power to unite all people from all over the world. Is it gyros? Is it ice cream? Is it big titty mods? In case you've guessed, none of the above. And that is, if you want to play Skyrim, should you mod it again? And if you want to mod your game again for the 100th time, how much time should you spend modding the game? Modding can take quite some time. This is why I'm here, good guy Kavou, in order to provide to you maybe the most simplest yet graphical mod list I have that is going to help you build a vanilla friendly game that looks next gen and it can be run with most of the setups out there. Again, the focus of this mod list is going to be minimalism, so expect me to use a very light mod list. That being said, if you like this type of video, you know the drill. Like the video, subscribe, comment down below. It helps me find my audience, and with that, let's begin. I want to speak about maybe the most important thing, and that's sweet rolls. Okay, I'm joking. Now that I have your attention, I want to speak about performance. There is nothing more sacred. The Krusty Krab formula? Drop that out of the window. You have no idea how many times I've tried to mod my game, and it doesn't matter if you have a bunch of mods or thousands upon thousands of mods, bad performance is bad performance. As Aristoteles once said, a badly modded Skyrim is a bad modded Skyrim. I want to avoid that. With the next few mods, you are going to have guaranteed the best performance for your game. And also again, I'm putting this on the same basket, is that we're going to use mods that enhance Skyrim while also make it look like vanilla without moving away from the original roots. I will recommend you to use mod organizer all the time. However, if you are using an extremely light mod list like the one I am using for my laptop, I don't think there is any issues with you using Vortex. The more mods you are putting into your mod list, the higher the chances are you might be needing mod organizer. I hope I was clear enough. Let's cover the base message. There are so many things on the Nexus, and again, I could yap about and introduce hundreds of little mods here and there, but I'm going to cover the main ones to give you the best looks, the ones you are looking at right now. Starting with static mesh improvement. Static mesh improvement, it's a class. Everybody knows what it is when it comes to Skyrim. It completely enhances every single detail that is wrong with this game. It sharpens the edges, it smooths out all of the objects in the game. It is absolutely the best of the best. It's the king when it comes to meshes. Comparing static mesh improvement with any other mesh textures out there on the Nexus is like comparing kings with plebeians. This is how big this is, and it's going to focus again on giving you the best vanilla-like experience, which I think is so important, because when it comes to using static mesh improvement, you are using vanilla assets or improving them, which also brings performance. It's going to fix barrels, gates, walls, lanterns. It's even going to fix your hair loss. Okay, I'm joking, it's not going to do that, but it covers literally everything. I'm going to have down in the video description all of the additions to static mesh improvement, so you can get all of them. Now for the main texture pack, I think most of you guys know exactly which mod I am going to cover here. The one that I've covered 1,000 times. This is Skyland Textures All-in-One. This is a huge collection of everything that exists in the game. From architectures, from landscape, from dungeons, mountains, roads, the towns, the forts. Not only this texture pack literally covers everything, that's why it has such a big size. It also uses performance-friendly textures that are not going to drain your VRAM. And again, not only you are getting the best performance, but look how beautiful this looks, guys. Just look at this piece of wood. Look at it. You are not looking. Do you want to lick this wood? I will. It looks so damn clean, and so does every texture. I am going to have a bunch of Sky King's lore on the video description, from the Snowburst, which enhances the snow, from the Skylands, bits and bobs, which enhance all of the clutter. I'm gonna have a bunch of few additions for you to get, but the main mod you need is Skyland All-in-One. Again, you can find everything on the video description. Let's speak about trees. After playing many RPGs, from the old series of Gothic, from the more modern series of Witcher, I've realized that trees and grass play an extremely big role. After a very long thought process, my recommendation for the best tree overhaul out there is the enhanced vanilla trees, which is literally vanilla trees but enhanced. It's gonna make the vanilla trees look bigger, better, and even have wind animations. It is going to put a check on the performance and also on the graphics, making all of the trees look absolutely stunningly beautiful, and you can see from the footage how amazing this looks. Already guys, with only 5 mods, I don't know, I cannot count, we've made Skyrim look so much better. And if you're someone who doesn't like how the vanilla trees look and you want something slightly different but also want to touch this performance aspect ratio, I will recommend you the happy little trees. Those are the 2 best mods that I could recommend to you, and again I am rolling with enhanced vanilla trees. Just make sure you roll Dindolot and text gen when you're using tree mods. Now let's speak about grass. Trees are nice and cute, but when it comes to the foundations of making the forests of Skyrim look better, we have to look no further than the grass of the game. And when it comes to the grass, I've tried a bunch of grass mods, and there has been some insane grass mods out there guys that make Skyrim look like the modern version of Crysis compared to any other game out there, but at a cost. That's your soul. That being said, we're avoiding that. We want to get a nice grass mod while again having the ability to play with more than 60 frames. The theme for this video is vanilla friendly mods and also performance friendly mods. We want to keep the aesthetic of vanilla Skyrim, which is why I have the perfect grass mod for you, the Veydosebrom Regions, a Skyrim grass overhaul. Not only this mod covers every single landscape in the game, but it also plays exactly as Skyrim would. What do I mean with that? You know, Skyrim has the tundra, or has the rich area, or has places like Riverwood. Every single landscape of Skyrim has different grass density. Most of the grass mods, they just spawn a shit ton of amount of grass everywhere. Veydosebrom, it actually doesn't do that. It plays exactly as Skyrim would. The grass will be the exact same as in the vanilla game, just graphically looking so much more better. This is again, in my opinion, the best looking grass mod when you want to combine vanilla looks, best graphics, and also performance. So now, not only the trees, but also the grass and the landscapes of Skyrim will look so much more better with us using those 2 mods. Now for water mods, it's not even close guys. The best mod you're going to get is water for ENB. Now we are going to use an ENB later in the video. If you were not using an ENB, there will be other options, but because we are going to use an ENB, and I'm gonna show you later on, water for ENB is the best water mod out there. It has a little bit of a performance cost, but most of that you can fix it and patch it. That being said, the base mod gives you maybe the best looking water out there on the Nexus. It has amazing support for ENB, constantly gets updates, and in my opinion again, if you want to make Skyrim seas and rivers look way better, this is the perfect mod to use. Let me know if you have any recommendations of water mods, because I'm curious if people are using something different. Some of you guys commented on this asking me about what's my favorite overhaul when it comes to cities and towns. Usually I'm avoiding this type of mods because they cost a lot of performance and they change the Skyrim's cities and towns in a way where they don't feel identical to the game. But just for this video I said, you know what, screw that, I'm doing this for you. I'm going to give you the best, in my humble opinion, city and town overhaul that exists out there in the game when it comes to fusing both performance, quality, and also vanilla look. And if you're Italian, you might have heard this before. This one is called spaghetti, but not the spaghetti you know, but the spaghetti overhauls cities and towns. That's right, made by Spaghetti. This is essentially me cheating out 2 mods because those are 2 different mods. The spaghetti cities all in one and the spaghetti towns all in one. They're going to enhance every single city and town to make them look absolutely beautiful. Even the shithole shithole known as Morthal is going to look much less of a shithole now and more like an actual town. Your game is not going to drop 10 frames per second, but instead you're going to get almost no frames lost, because Spaghetti's overhaul is the most performance friendly overhauls out there on the Nexus, and they enhance quite a lot. They add small details that grab the vanilla base game and make it look even better by adding small statues, small details, some flags here and there, some lantern. It builds on the idea of an environmental storytelling while again keeping it vanilla, which is what we love in this channel. Again, in my opinion, if you want to combine the cities and towns in Skyrim into two mods, I would recommend you again Spaghetti's Cities and Towns and Spaghetti's Town all in one. A masterfully crafted overhaul in my opinion. Let's move to the lighting. Now for the lighting, there is so many choices, and I actually spent over 3 days trying to cover a bunch of lighting mods, but in the end you said, you know what, Kavou, why not keep things much more simpler? And this is why I'm just going to cover Lux. Lux, I think I'm going to pronounce it Lux. I don't know how you pronounce it, let me know down in the comments. But Lux, in my opinion, similar to the water for ENB, is the best lighting mod out there that exists to this day. It has so many patches, it enhances every single area, and the amount of detail it gives is absolutely insane, because everything we are using is again performance friendly and is using vanilla assets and not custom assets. We don't have crazy demands when it comes to graphics, and our VRAM is mostly safe. That means all of those areas that we have improved so far, Lux is going to make them look 10 times better without us costing too much FPS. I would recommend you to grab Lux and also the Lux resources. All of the links will be found down in the video description. For weather mode, I'm usually using Azurite Weathers because it's extremely lightweight, but just for this video, I'm gonna go for Cathedral Weathers in Season. It is going to add multiple seasons, build up on the vanilla base game and the base weathers, and it's an absolutely beautiful mod to have. I will combine this with the Obsidian Mountain Fox to make both the mountains and the weather to play exactly how the weathers and the visuals should look in Skyrim. I'm sort of cheating out 2 mods here, but that being said, Cathedral Weathers and Seasons is one of the oldest, one of the most updated weather mods out there, and I've chose this specific weather mod because I'm going to use an ENB that builds on top of that to give you again the best performance and the best looks when it comes to the game. Let's speak about the Pokemon in the room. The ENB that I'm going to use, Rudy ENB for Cathedral Weathers. Sounds familiar? It does, because this ENB was built specifically for Cathedral Weathers. This combined with Cathedrals is going to give you insane looking visuals, and combined with looks and everything we have installed so far, it's going to make every zone in Skyrim to look crazy good compared to the vanilla game. One of the most fascinating things about this ENB is not just the visuals on their own, combined with everything else, but because we're using, as I've said, a performance friendly setup, this is not going to cost you too many frames. While I'm using this mod list, having in mind I have some extra stuff installed, I am constantly having 60 FPS everywhere I go. I'm using an RTX 360 with a modern setup over 32GB of VRAM, and I have to say, I hardly ever drop below 60 frames aside some extremely busy areas. So this is Rudy ENB again for Cathedral Weathers. Before finishing the video, I want to cover a few extras when it comes to finishing this video. First of all, some of you are asking me, as always, Kavou, what NPC overhaul are you using? And here is a tricky question. There are so many NPC overhauls out there, and usually I don't use any. And before you say, Kavou, what do you mean? What I do instead is that I install physics on the hair with mods like the Vanilla Hair Remaster, and I'm using a good skin mod like Sky Sides for males or or BNB, and that alone is going to make all of the NPCs look better. No cost of performance, no need to run 50 different NPC overhauls, which also makes the NPCs look so much more different than the original, and the few mods that get the vanilla looks right, they don't add physics into the NPCs and they add too much detail to them, which again I think it kinda takes off. So that's my philosophy when it comes to NPC overhauls. I mostly avoid them because they can be buggy, they need lots of patches, you might find glitches with the faces and all of that. So overall, because the theme of this video is again performance, vanilla looks, and also something you want to do fast and be minimalist, this is why I'm avoiding using any NPC overhauls. Now when it comes to visual looks, I've covered the visuals for this game when it comes to trees, to landscapes, all of this kind of shenanigans. One of the things I want to talk about is that you should always use 2K textures. Always try to avoid using custom textures. Custom textures for a weapon or two or an armor or two is not going to be a big deal, but when you're using hundreds of custom textures, this is an extremely fast way to drain your VRAM and lose lots of frames. Which is why I want to recommend you to use parallax, which I'm going to have it linked down in the video description. You can patch Skyland while using parallax to not only have the best looking graphics in the game, but you can use 1 or 2K textures to make them look like they were 4K with the usage of parallax, which in case you don't know, parallax is going to give this nice feeling that the textures have 3D aesthetics, which again is amazing in my opinion. That was my simple guide of how to make Skyrim look next gen while maintaining the vanilla looks and also having the best performance of the game while keeping it as minimalist as possible. If you enjoyed this type of video, let me know down in the comment section by commenting down or by liking the video. You can subscribe for more stuff, I'm going to cover way more. That being said, my name is Kavou, I love making Skyrim videos, and until next time, have fun and happy modding.